Hi, I'm Andrew Eales, and I've come from the UK to Poland to explore the music of Chopin's land. I've been looking at music from educational sources for children, right the way through to concert works. And in this film, I'm going to be talking about two delightful books for children. They're written by Krystyna Gowick, and they are My Little World for piano, which I'm going to be talking about particularly. I'll show you some of the music in there. But also available from PWM Edition, My Favourites for piano. And aren't these just gorgeous books? I think children will be delighted with these books and spend a long time just looking at those pictures and enjoying them because they're so delightful. But of course, what the books are ultimately about is the music. My Little World includes 12 pieces that are suitable for children when they're at about elementary level, late elementary, grade 2 in the UK, I would say. And these are pieces that really speak to the imagination of the child. They have titles like Brave Matthew, Agnes's Polka, Casper's Dog, Sleepy Caroline. Pieces that any child will, I think, relate to. So I'm going to look at some of these pieces in turn and show you what the music includes, because these pieces manage to be two things at once. They're amazing for teaching, they're full of good pedagogy, but they're also just inspiring pieces to listen to play, and to learn. And the first piece that any child will probably come across from this composer is the first one in the book, Agatha on Her Bike. Let me play you the piece. Isn't that truly delightful? And so pictorial in the way it sort of shows Agatha speeding up, going down a hill perhaps. And I think as teachers we always love the opportunity to explain to children why it's so important that they practice scales. And this gives us a perfect chance to do so, because this is of course just a G major scale, something that a child at this level will hopefully be able to play with confidence and already know the right finger pattern for. Let's look at another piece, Brave Matthew. So Brave Matthew has an insanely catchy tune, which I think children will love to play probably as fast as they can, and which audiences will just smile when they hear. So this is a piece that needs crisp articulation and good control of grace notes. And you've probably noticed that the harmony that we're playing with here is very, very simple harmony. It's actually just two chords, the tonic chord of D and the dominant A with its seventh added at times. When we get to the middle section, those chords are opened up in the most simple way. 1, 5, 1, 5. But then Gowick adds some more complex harmonies that take the piece somewhere new before it returns to the main theme. And so on. What a brilliant piece that is. And again, a lovely illustration. Veronica's Cat is a much more lyrical piece, and it's in the key of B flat major. So this is an interesting challenge for teachers at the present time. We're looking at pieces that are around grade 2, and often pieces at this level are in the key of B flat. This is a wonderful example of that. So students who are following an exam syllabus might not necessarily know this key. If they're using the Trinity College exams, they will know B flat, and it only has 2 flats, so it should be possible. But with some other boards, B flat isn't introduced until later, which is a pity. And if that's the case, then it's wise to teach the B flat major scale so that the student understands the geography of the key and understands the piece they're playing, possibly 1 octave, an arpeggio 2, and the left hand. The piece just veers into G minor in the middle too, which again is a key that a grade 2 student should be able to play, but might need to be introduced to. Have a listen to the wonderful lyrical tune. Another wonderful chance to include couplets and the phrasing there. Perhaps a meow sound. And then when we get to the second half, the full expression of the piece becomes much more clear. And we've got some interesting jumps that need to be played legato, but which stretch just above the octave, so that a student with smaller hands, a younger child, might find themselves challenged here to stretch this section. Just listen to that in context though, because it really is lovely. Notice too that the piece includes use of the sustain pedal, which again is a great opportunity to work at learning the basics of how to pedal in music. Natalie in Fairyland also relies on the sustain pedal quite a lot, and an interesting feature of this piece is that the left hand moves up into the treble stave, and we have a little bracket to indicate that, as is often done in music. It's a really simple sounding tune, really innocent, I think, this tune, but lovely. Sleepy Caroline is another piece that includes the crossing of hands, and here we can work on the balance between the 2 hands. A wonderful opportunity also to see articulation that's subtly different between each hand. In the next passage, we have staccato right hand melody notes, but the chords in the left hand, crotchets, quarter notes there with rests, but not marked staccato. So the left hand here can actually have a little bit more weight than the right hand does. Again, very subtle, but something that's really useful to introduce with children at this level. And then it changes round, so that the right hand now is playing a legato, while the left hand plays staccato. Let's look at one more. Waspish Alexandra, another very pictorial piece, and another very quirky tune as well. This piece has some excellent use of dynamic contrast. In the middle section, we have a quite robust moment. But it's followed by a dip in the dynamic to mezzo piano, and then a long hairpin crescendo that ends with subito piano. It's as if the wasp has gone undercover, but is coming back for a final sting. Krystyna Gowick's music is so full of imagination, so full of great tunes, and yet so full of educational value as well. This is really wonderful music, and music that I think teachers everywhere will embrace and enjoy. So please have a look. Thank you.